As Virginia and North Carolina farmers conclude harvesting their 2014 crops, they're looking ahead to the 2015 crop with a focus on managing cost and maximizing opportunity for profit on every acre. We at Advanced Agra Service understand that our first step to planning for the future is taking in account of lessons learned in the past. So, let's go to the field and check our performance in 2014.
The 1163, of course, is a high-performing corn. It's done very well, especially the last 2 years. We've got a lot of water. We got some water some other guys didn't get this year, and it's done well. Makes a great silage corn, and it's got the grain there too. But I've been pleased with the 11 HQ31 as well. Have used that both for silage and for grain, and have gotten along well. Seen some good yields out of that. Shelled some this year and got north of 200 bushels with it, so hard to complain about that. The 1143, that's a new hybrid for me this year. Haven't gotten any of that cut yet, so don't know where I'm going to be on that, but have good confidence in it. I've just been happy overall with what I've seen. 2 years ago I planted the 1172 and got some of the highest yields I'd ever gotten on any corn ground with that, so happy with that as well. So the corn has performed well. It's priced right, and I've been happy with it.
We didn't decide to enter this till partway through the summer, so we didn't really do anything special up front, but we did flea fungicide on this summer and top dress nitrogen, their last chance to get over with the spray cube, and had decent rain, run a little shy here at the end, but 11H63's done well for us in the past and done okay again this year, so I'm happy enough.
We put this in the ground on the 25th of April, so it'll be 115 days today, and we stopped in here to look at it. It's kind of surprising to find this many doubles in a row along the edge, outside edge. And traditionally I'd seen doubles with a small second ear. All these second ears look real nice, look they're a full-size ear, so it'll be kind of interesting. We're going to chop it to see how it yields out. We got good rains to start with, and it tapered off. We actually didn't have that awful much rain in July and the first part of August. Finished up with a couple good rains, but it's looking real good. It'll be real interesting to see how it yields on the chopping.
In 2014, with volatility in weather throughout our sales area, it was evident that having the right hybrid in the right field was an enormous influence on yield. That's why we continue our robust variety research program for our Virginia and North Carolina customers. As research data accumulates on our seed consultants and Supreme EX corn and soybean varieties, we gain new and valuable insight into making recommendations that correctly position our products to maximize yield and limit risk. In both 2013 and 2014 testing, SCS 11HR63 and SCS 11HQ31 continue to claim top honors where moisture and fertility are abundant.
We're standing next to the 11HR63, which Lyndon used in a big way on his farming operation in his program this year. Lyndon, this hybrid's done you a tremendous job this year. What's a few comments you might have on 11HR63 and what you like about it, and what you like about Seed Consultants and as a company?
I'm impressed how well it's done. I like the plant health, the big ears, and we'll see when the combines roll, but I'm thinking we'll be well in excess of 200 bushels on this field here. And I like working with Eddie. He takes the time to go over to different fields and tells me what hybrids work the best for each one. And I'd say I'm satisfied with what they have to offer, as a company. These hybrids have the potential for top-end yield. You just need to feed it right and have a good fertilizer program. And it's a system. It's not just one thing, but all the pieces of the puzzle fit together.
What was your experience a year ago with the 11HR63?
It was in the 250 range, 250 to 260, and it did exceptional. I was very pleased.
All right, this year we did a yield trial on a 30-acre field where we had vetch and rye and radish cover crop over the winter, and then we varied the amounts of nitrogen, replicated 0, 50, and 100 pounds across the field in combination with the PSNT test. Actually, the PSNT test said we didn't need any additional nitrogen for the yields that we were shooting for. And that whole field averaged around 210, 212 bushel. The high yield was 228 and the low was 209 across the whole field. But we were pleasantly surprised.
SCS 11HR63 and SCS 11HQ31 are truly impressive hybrids that are breaking farm yield records and winning yield contests. But corn genetics with the highest yield potential has to be matched with population, fertility, and highly productive soil. But what about marginal soils and microclimates that limit yield level far below the potential of most hybrids? Solution? SC 1172.
I'm real conservative by nature. I plant for a drought. I don't push for a lot of nitrogen. Last year, this corn made a bushel of corn on 7/10 of a pound of nitrogen. We plant somewhere 27,000, give or take. No matter what the moisture is with our heat and conditions, we're just a couple weeks from a drought. To make corn, we need some water, so I pretty much plant for a drought every year. I have some bottom ground that we push a little bit harder, but sometimes I'll give up on the top end to make a crop. This corn, this 1172, has been through some dry years. This field 2 years ago was planted in 1172, and it was by far the best we had. It averaged 150 bushels when normal was right much less, probably 110 or 15, so it hangs in there. I like the conventional corn. This field we're standing in does have the resistant pigweed in it. We do burn down with Roundup, but I'm trying to get it out of my rotation to control the pigweed as much as possible.
Let's go ahead and shuck down a couple of these ears and let's take a look here and see what kind of comparison we have on the ear development. Well, 1172 looks real good as usual. Variety always gives us good grain quality and test weight. And again, this is a non-GMO. This is no traits on this 1172. So if you're interested, anyone that's interested in growing non-GMO corn, they need to look at this hybrid.
Because we have measured a decisive advantage with SC 1172 under drought conditions since 2011, Seed Consultants has expanded production to offer a family of drought-tolerant varieties based on the SC 1172. SC 11AGT43, SC 11AQ74, and SC 11AQ15. These are rugged genetics that protect yield by having an extra measure of drought tolerance when things get really tough.
And we're looking at 11AGT74 on the 7th of October. This is one of the only fields that you can drive by at this point that still has some green life in it. And this hybrid, along with 1143 and 1172, comprise our best stay green lineup for Southwest Virginia and the Shenandoah Valley in terms of giving you an extra measure of tolerance to the leaf diseases that have been so prevalent in 2014. These varieties in particular have been standouts this year as far as giving us extra stay green. A lot of farms, they were harvested last because a number of the competitor varieties dried up first. And so we recommend heartily 11AGT74 because of its drought tolerance as well as additional stay green for silage production.
Had an awesome growing season this year, cool temperatures, plenty of rainfall. Cutting 11AGT43 at around 28 to 30 tons per acre. You can see the hybrid here is really clean. You know, planted a high population of 34,000. Really pleased with the job it's doing and the forage quality coming out of the cutter. I like this hybrid a lot for its drought stress tolerance, and it's a pretty determinate type ear, so the ears aren't just Won't have a tremendous lot of flex, but there's a lot of them out here. We're looking at around 220, 230 bushels here probably. And really like this hybrid for its silage forage quality and its performance under stress and the plant health that it brings.
In 2014, our well-researched silage lineup fed more dairy herds than ever before, and we plan to work hard to keep that trend going. SCS 11HR63, SCS 11HQ31, SC 11AQ43, SC 11AQ72, and SC 11AQ74 comprise our 2015 silage lineup. These hybrids represent valuable tools in the hands of North Carolina and Virginia silage producers, enabling them to harvest more pounds of milk or beef from every forage acre planted.
We grew about approximately 900 acres of Seed Consultants corn this year. We feel like Seed Consultants have been very profitable for us. Our milk production through this summer, which we do a lot of heat abatement, but our milk production's been about 85 pounds all summer. And we feel like it's got a lot of grain in it, and the corn's very digestible. The cows seem to milk very well off of it. Our corn still is gonna, I'd say it's still probably shell. If you were shelling it, probably 150 bushel or better. And I think it's stayed healthy and green longer than some. I was very impressed with the 31 this year. Had a really nice ear on it, even though some of the drought kind of hit it a little bit funny. I think it was still shelled over 150 bushel. It was really good corn. Most every time the starch levels are really good. I think we see on the milk 2000s, we're 2,800 pounds, sometimes a little better. And the NEL's like 0.8, and we see TDN 75, 78%, something like that. It holds up very strongly against every other competition we've seen. When you're trying to push for that last 5 or 10 pounds of milk, you've got to have everything right. But the forage quality is very high on the list.
This is our first year on 15-inch row. We didn't really know where to start on population-wise. So on this good land here on the dairy barn, we just thought we were going to shoot close to a plant per square foot. So we looking 43, 44,000. So that's what we ended up with. So far we've been extremely happy with it. It's got good height, good stay green. And it's good disease tolerance too. Considering 15-inch row corn, and you're going to tend to have a little more disease problems. All the corn we've looked at, all the years we looked at, me and my brother, most 16 around, some 18 around, and 35, 36 long. I think this field here would, spots in it would easily go well over 300 bushels. But we'll be hopefully making silage out of this corn in a couple of weeks, and we might leave out a couple acres to shell just to see what it would do.
Locally adapted varieties and the latest technology. That's a powerful combination for your farm. Our customers and dealers are the heart of our seed business. We take it very seriously when you commit corn acreage to Seed Consultants. It's teaming with forward-thinking growers like you that makes the idea of moving yields forward a reality. We look forward to working with you on your 2015 crop.